Good morning, Poet fans. Welcome to WCPoets.com and another edition of Poet Primetime here, brought to you by the Whittier College Sports Network. I'm Lance Franney, Associate Athletic Director for Communications, and today I'm joined by senior basketball player Emily Guerena. Emily, thanks for hopping on with me today.
Thank you for having me, Lance.
So, Emily, a lot to talk through today. I know there's a lot of emotions, for you after hearing of the cancellation of the basketball season and winter sports. But first things first, how has quarantine been with you and your family, and how has remote instruction been for you?
It was a tough transition going from being able to go to school and seeing everybody and then kind of just being stuck at home. But I think being able to stay in contact with everybody, like teammates and friends, kind of helped a lot. As far as family, we're just getting through it. It's been hard, especially, we all love each other, but it's been hard kind of being around each other for so long. We kind of need our break sometimes, but besides that, it's been good.
Mm-hmm. And remote instruction's been okay for you. How many classes are you taking?
Right now in this second module of fall, I'm only taking one class.
Mhm.
And it's been going good. Keeping my grades up, but still wish we were in person at school.
Mhm. Of course. Now, have you been able to continue training, meeting with the team? I know Coach Dow has been doing some, virtual Zoom sessions with the team right now. So have you been participating in those?
Yeah, so we actually had one the other day where we just kind of go over, kind of check in with each other, making sure everybody's doing okay. And then we've been doing virtual workouts with a strength and conditioning coach every week. I think we do about like 3 or 4 every week. So that's been good, kind of staying in shape, but also like keeping up with each other.
Right. Now, like we talked about, the fall and winter sports have been canceled for the year. So you are going to get this year back, according to the NCAA. But how do you stay positive? Kind of what's the outlook on this? You're a senior. How are you taking this all in right now?
Well, for me, my mindset is kind of just, staying positive and just thinking about like whenever I've been injured and like how long it took to get back and just kind of staying positive and knowing that it's gonna be there at the end. Just staying in contact with your teammates is a big thing to where it's kind of keeping you going, kind of keeping you on track, keeping you working out and staying in shape, eating healthy. But like this whole quarantine obviously was unexpected. Nobody was planning for this to happen, so it kind of caught me off guard. But once I kind of got over the sadness of not being able to play, I think it's been a lot easier just making sure that my teammates got my back, and that's pretty much it.
And of course, how are your parents doing? Especially your dad, because they're always at the games. Your dad's always in the front row cheering you on, supporting you. How are they taking all this?
Yeah, well, my dad misses it just as much as anybody else. Uh, but and my mom, she likes watching me play, but also is kind of happy that my body gets to rest.
Mhm.
But they definitely miss going, seeing the games, and just kind of being around the parents and around the girls. And we're pretty close knit family as far as parents and teammates and coaches. So I know that it hasn't been easy for anybody. I know just talking with the girls every now and again, like their parents will walk in and we're on the phone and we're like, oh, hi, and just getting to see each other again. But, it's not the same. But I feel like everybody's pretty much pushing through it.
And that's great to see that community that you do have with the basketball family, which is really nice. Now, let's talk about the basketball season. We're talking about last year. You finished 17-19 overall, 11-5 in SCIAC. You made the SCIAC tournament the second time in program history that this has occurred. You clinched the number 2 seed and hosted a first-round game, which was the first time in program history that this has occurred. How exciting was it to take part in history? And how was it being coached by an experienced Coach Dow? He pushed you. And I definitely know, as I've seen those practices and the pregame routines and what you've been through, and it was a lot. But you definitely prepared you for a winning mentality.
Yeah, Coach Dow from day one has definitely been on us about having that winning mentality and knowing that we can do anything, no matter what anybody says. We've always had people saying like, "Oh, Whittier, no big deal." Then we walk in the gym and we prove them wrong. And that starts with Coach Dow and also the mentality that we had coming into the program. But this past season, the team was really special. Every single person on the team contributed some way, somehow. Um, Unfortunately, we can't play this year, which is a big bummer. But I think the achievements that happened last year are something to remember, and we'll always have that. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about it. But I know the girls that are still left after seniors graduate. I know that they're gonna accomplish the same things. Like you said, Coach Dow knows his stuff, so they're gonna keep getting better and better, and we're gonna end up at the top some way, somehow, someday.
Now, this past season, you averaged 9.7 points per game. You totaled 193 points on the season, which was a career high for you. You also shot 41% from the field. You hauled in 133 rebounds, 26 blocks, 28 assists, which were all career highs. And at a majority, some of the games, you actually were injured and you weren't able to play. So those numbers actually could have been even higher for you. But how did you progress throughout your career, and what have you been doing in this offseason that helped you continue to grow as a player?
Yeah, so the past 3 years, it's been a bumpy road. You've been there the whole time, but it was just keeping that mindset of either you're getting better or you're staying the same. And I wasn't trying to stay the same. I was trying to get better every day. Not only for me, but for my teammates. They deserved it from me to do that. This past year, I didn't want to be mediocre anymore. I kind of wanted to come out with that mindset is that I was going to be better than everybody. I tried my best. I feel like I proved myself to my teammates, to my coaches, to Skyac, that that I wasn't to be messed with. I've tried coming out with that hardcore mentality that I was better than everybody, but I don't think I am. I think there's pretty good girls in Skyac to compete against. But, I changed my mindset from freshman and sophomore year to junior year. I wasn't trying to play around. And you can see that with the results we had this past year. But unfortunately, we fell a little short. But, yeah, and as far as, staying in shape and stuff, just been working out the team, trying to keep my head on, doing as much as I can, whether it's running or shooting around wherever I could find a rim because I tend to take them off everywhere. But yeah, just doing my best.
Yeah, so that kind of takes me to this next question. Talking about what your major is, what you're majoring in here at Whittier, what your plans are after graduation. Now, you get this year of eligibility back according to the NCAA, but would you extend your graduation in order to play your final season, or would you go play in graduate school if you had that opportunity?
Yeah, so I'm majoring in kinesiology with an emphasis pre-physical therapy. And over the break and then the beginning of fall, I've kind of just been applying to grad school to be an AT. But I recently got accepted into Point Loma, so that's probably where I'm gonna end up going after graduation. And I am planning on playing my extra year there, but that's pretty much my plan.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, and I'm glad. I'm hoping you'll play that final year. You've been through so much, like you mentioned, over your last 3 years. You've battled injuries. Improving from your freshman to junior year, and it would just be a bummer that you wouldn't be able to play that final year. So to have that opportunity in graduate school would be amazing, and to do it at Point Loma Nazarene, which has always been a great program, is even better, which is really nice. So. But are there any words or advice for future poets looking to attend Whittier College? And how were you able to balance both basketball and your academics at the same time? But we'll look at the first question. Any advice or words of wisdom for future poets?
You just gotta come in with that mentality that people are always gonna be there kind of speaking negatively about you, because Whittier isn't always seen as a superior school in sports, but I don't think that that's true at all. You know, being a close-knit community in a small school that we are, you tend to be able to see a lot of the sports, a lot of the other sports practice and work out, and the mentality that all of us athletes have at Whittier, I think is very different from a lot of the teams at SCIAC. We're always seen as the underdog, and just knowing that when you come to Whittier, it's not going to be an easy shift, as far as, you know, it's different like for everybody going from high school to college, but as far as athletics, you know, you just got to come in with that mentality ready to work, whether it's from the strength and conditioning staff or from your coaches. You know, they're going to push you, and I've seen it, and I've seen people come out better than when they came in, so it's working.
And you get the opportunity to compete, you know, and like you mentioned, people have written off Whittier College in athletics, and that's how it's been in past years. But things have changed, and Whittier is now right in the middle of the pack for the Commissioner's Cup within the conference. And now we're competing against the top tier schools. We have great coaching staff. We're getting great recruits like yourself, great players in this program. And so things are changing here with that culture and that mentality. And people definitely are worrying about what Whittier College can offer. But at the same time, you see that the GPAs, especially on the women's basketball team, everyone was averaging over a 3.0 and doing well academically. Same thing with all of our athletic programs. Every single team had over a 3.0 cumulative GPA. And, you know, how were you able to remain successful doing both?
You know, Coach Dow is really big on not only getting your time in the gym, but also getting your time in for school. That's one of the things he stresses a lot over the past 4 years that I've been at Whittier. And as well as being able to go to CAS, which not everybody knows, but it's an outlet that we have to go and get tutoring and kind of finish our homework up in there. But also, your teammates are there to help you. They're not going to let you fail a class, because that's just not an option, especially if you're a key component to the team. So just, like I said before, Whittier is a very close-knit family, so nobody is going to let you fail on your own. If you're going to fail, you're going to fail trying. But I don't think that that's something at Whittier that we do, is fail. So,
of course. And the faculty and professors and staff on campus are here to support the students and the student athletes on campus. And the faculty are going to do everything in their power in order for you to be successful, which is really nice to have. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Emily, that takes us to the final part of our Poet Primetime segment here, the hot seat questions, kind of what everybody looks forward to, you know, in the interview. So the first thing that comes to your mind when I ask you these questions, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, first one, favorite food?
Oh, God. I already know everybody's going to get on me for this one. I'd probably say burritos. I love burritos, whether it's like breakfast burritos or just like a burrito in general.
Any specific kind of protein inside of that?
I tend to I don't eat meat in my burritos for some reason. I don't know
Interesting.
why.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually go like vegetarian style and just like
Uh-huh.
beans, cheese, rice, and like sour cream, guacamole. But yeah.
Hey, I've been like that too growing up. I was always like that. I never put the protein in my burritos, but interesting. Okay. Okay, second question. If you could go on vacation anywhere, where would it be?
Costa Rica, for sure. I've been there before, and I loved it, and I want to go back so bad.
Okay, and what did you really like about being there?
Well, my best friend actually is from Costa Rica, so we were able to like go visit her family over there.
Great.
But it's just being there. I don't know what about it, but it's just so fun being there and kind of seeing how another country is.
Definitely a different culture. For sure.
Yeah, it's completely different from over here, but I don't know. I just fell in love with it when I was there, and then also because my best friend was there, so it made it a lot better. But
okay, now do you have a favorite professional athlete or a role model you look up to?
I like Chris Paul. He's kind of went through a lot of struggles
Mhm.
his whole life with like family and basketball. But as far as like WNBA players, I love Jackie Gimlos.
Mhm.
I don't think she's in the WNBA right now, but she's gone through a lot of adversity as well, going from like I think like 5, 6, 7 ACL surgeries, and
Wow.
she's still playing. And she's gone from like the WNBA to like overseas, like
Mhm.
constantly back and forth, but she's still
Okay.
playing. And yeah, if you
Wow.
don't know who she is, you can go check her out because she's really cool.
No, definitely. I definitely will do that. Now, favorite movie or genre?
Um, my favorite movie is probably Step Brothers.
Okay.
uh, yeah, me and my dad tend to watch that like all the time, and
Yeah,
it's like the
it's a
funniest
good
thing
one.
to both of us for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah,
Hey, well, during this time, watching some comedies, that's the way to go, to keep your mind off
yeah,
of things for sure.
definitely, definitely.
Now, do you have a favorite hobby? Do you like to do anything in your spare time?
Basketball,
Just basketball. You're
just
dedicated.
basketball. Yep.
Do you have a hidden talent that anybody knows about?
Uh, I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe I just haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. Uh,
Okay. And
yeah.
the last one I have for you is if you were stranded on an island, you could bring one thing with you, what would it be? And it can't be a basketball. That was going to be
Uh,
your answer, wasn't it?
I was gonna say Spalding.
Oh,
uh,
okay.
well, this is technically considered one thing because it's like
Okay.
what I'd probably say my team,
Bring your
but that's
team.
like more than one. Yeah,
More than
but
one person.
that's more than
Interesting.
one, but it's one word,
Okay.
so
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I'll let that one slide here today. Um, well, Emily, thank you so much for hopping on with me here today during our Poet Prime Time. I really appreciate it. Make sure you're staying safe. Tell your family hi for me. And hopefully, I'll be able to see you on campus in the springtime at some point for us to be able to catch up. Okay?
Yes, thank you for having me. Especially you stay safe too. We can't not
Okay.
have you at Whittier events.
Yeah, thank you. No, I really appreciate that, and I definitely miss all of you guys and all the athletes for sure. And I'm hoping things are going to, change for the better here coming in 2021.